I have decided to bring one extra video about the functional structure because I find it very important, and you will see it in every company at least from the beginning. So what are going to be the advantages? So advantages, and on the other hand, what are the problems? What are the problems of a functional structure? And I would begin with an important point: what leads companies to some next step. Let's imagine that in the next videos I'm going to have some sense of evolution. So evolution. And when the company is in this functional structure, it is something like a baby. So in next videos we will have some evolution, and what will lead the companies for this evolutionary step? Well, that the demand goes up. So demand goes up, and then you are forced to produce products faster. So produce faster, of course, in larger amounts. So larger amounts, and of course they all have to be in uniformly high quality. So uniformly high quality, high quality. And these are the reasons why the companies decide for this evolutionary step to change the functional structure for some more complex one. So we can begin with some advantages. And the first one is very clear, is that when people work together in some function, they share the same tasks which they do, and maybe they even share something more, the values. Maybe all of them like to create something with their hands, so they are able to learn from each other. So people are able, or employees are able to learn from each other, each other, especially when we consider performing of their task. So performing of their task, and so that they become more efficient. The second problem is again stemming from the idea that they are working together. They can monitor and supervise themselves. So monitor and supervise themselves. And I will directly move to the third point, so I can conclude them in one sentence. It is going to be that they develop some norms and values. So develop norms and values. And thanks to these 2 points, they should be able, and I will change the color because I find it important. So thanks to these 2 points, they should be able to work more effectively. So more effectively, which should be the positive or the benefit for the company. But I would be really careful when customers, or sorry, when employees are working together and you allow them to monitor or supervise themselves among themselves. Well, maybe they are not that strict about this monitoring and the measurement of performance, and the same is applied here. If they have some internal norms, maybe they have a norm or habit of going every hour for a 5-minute cigarette. Well, that is not really good for you. Well, so the theory tells you that thanks to these 2 points, they are supposed to work more effectively. But I would be really careful that that every coin has a two sides. So we can get to some problems. So the first problem that we will have is the communication problem. So communication problem. Why is it so? Just imagine that I have this company and it has got several functions. Sorry, I didn't draw it the best way. Maybe I have some sort of a production line, but it is between several buildings. So several buildings, and and my product is flowing, and here in the last one it is finished, and the guys in the buildings are doing very different job, and maybe there is some jargon and some dialect between them, especially in technical skills, so that they cannot really communicate effectively between themselves. And the second problem is basically the same. It is about measurement. So measurement. If I'm creating computer screen in this building, then I'm creating a keyboard in this building. How should I measure? I should have some universal tool. So I'm looking for some universal measurement tool, and it is very hard if every this building is some function. They are very different, and it is hard for me to measure it correctly. And the next problem is the location. So location problems. Imagine that these buildings are not buildings, but they are countries, so that it would be very hard for me to actually move the product, and it will be a very long production process if I have to move my product between four different countries. And the last problem, that is the most interesting one, that's why I will highlight it, are the customer problems. So customer, imagine you would like to add new product to your according to your customer demand. It will be hard for you because you will have to separate the production line in every of these buildings. So here, here, and every part of your production line then changes. Imagine you would have these buildings according to your product, so you will simply build new one. If you would have a product division, so you would build a new one and you can directly make a new product. So it is kind of hard to actually respond to your customer needs when you have a functional structure. And this then results in a last problem, which is the strategy. So strategic problems, according you have all these problems in your company, and as you as a manager don't really have time to create or to think about some strategy, because you always have to solve these problems. So these are the points, and especially this one, which lead the company for some evolutionary step to bring some divisions, and you will see them in next video. So hopefully see you there.